Hi everyone, so the blog post for Season 26 just went live an hour ago and we have the final patch notes and the season start announcement, which is April 15th. Keep in mind this is 5 p.m. in like the local time zones, EU, NA, Korea, so it is not globally launched at the same time. And there were some last minute changes that they have made. So I'm gonna go over them in a second. So if you haven't seen anything of the new season theme, it's called the Echoing Nightmare. I have made a bunch of videos on this, which is like a little new portal which leads you to like an arena that spawns monsters. So it is actually pretty cool, and it gives you some incredible XP rewards and also augment gems and some other things. So you can go check it out in some of my other videos if you want to see it. And I'm also going to talk about them because there were some changes. Here's the cosmetic rewards. So we have this Conqueror set, we have some pennants and portrait frames. Here's also the pet. It looks kind of funny. If you are interested in getting those from the season journey. Season journey will be very easy with the conquests. You get essentially all 3 conquests you need on the fly, just playing the game. You don't even have to do anything for them. So that is actually very easy this time around, and you can finish it in a few hours if you're really fast. Helix gifts. We have the Raker, we have Akan, we have Marauder, Inna, Pestilence, Zuni, and DMO. So especially Monk of Inna, Marauder DH is going to be absolutely nuts. Barbarian gets the reworked Raker, also really good. I already made a video talking about the Helix gift sets if you want to go check that out, and how to get the GR20 done very easily with all of this. And here we are. So what you need to know about the changes from PTR to the live patch is that especially Inna got a little bit of a buff. So the Earth allies had the issue that they were just like going all over the place and not really following the player. So they were extremely unreliable, and this seems to be fixed. We'll see exactly how this works when the patch goes live, I guess a few days before the season start. But it sounds like they gave it like a much shorter leash, and they will constantly TP to the player now. So they will probably quite reliably do what they're supposed to do, which makes Earth Ally like just the best ally build that you can play on Inna. Definitely better than Fire now. One of the best builds in general for pushing, and it will keep Inna as the best solo speed farming build in the game as well for basically anything. So Inna is going to be extremely good with water, and then you have the Earth for pushing and for RGKing. Secondly, there's a slight adjustment to Raker Barb, so they buffed this weapon throw mechanic from Ariad's Law to give more fury, up to 50 additional fury per throw, and also refund up to 50 fury per throw. So this kind of reinforces this ranged playstyle, which should definitely make it a bit better, especially in farming. I think in pushing, the boss kills will be even better. I'm not sure if it's really gonna change much about the gameplay or like how it's supposed to be played. So this will probably mostly be based on Furious Charge, but this is a slight buff, and Raker is actually looking pretty strong. So this is fine, but no damage reduction as many people had hoped for. And finally, to talk a bit about the Echoing Nightmares. So there were quite some changes. First of all, they fixed all the bugs and exploits like gold dropping and Boon to the Hoarder and gold wrap working, and also this lower difficulty exploit that would just one-shot everything. So all the stuff is gone, and so is the shield pattern actually. So this was something that a lot of people were kind of worried about, but personally I think this is actually a good thing. So it makes it just a bit harder, it makes it not completely free, because what we had on the PTR, if you consider doing this hundreds of times in a season or thousands of times even, depending on how much you play, then it will become extremely repetitive and extremely boring without any kind of like danger involved. Because usually what you did is you went in there, you clicked the shield pylon, and you had full immunity for the entire duration basically. So this has been changed, and stuff has been made more difficult. So for example, the explosions and the moltens and the meteors, they're all physical now, so you can't even abuse the immunity amulets for this. So they really want you to actually play the game and dodge mechanics and actually try to go as high as possible and not just have a completely free loot. Considering how rewarding Echoing Nightmares are in terms of XP and with the augment gem, I think this is definitely in order. It is a very efficient way of farming pretty much anything, and it will probably also be much more of a challenge now to try to actually go to wave 150, which is the cap for the rewards, and maybe even beyond if you want to push as high as you can. They also adjusted the drop rate for Petrified Screams, so I don't think this is very unexpected. It was 100% on any Greater Rift tier on the PTR, but now obviously we don't know how much it will drop. I expect it will still be rather common, but not to the point where you're just gonna farm this like all day, every day, especially in groups. But this also means that if you share keys in groups, you can still farm this a lot, and it will be extremely strong, extremely high XP per hour values, especially for more casual players. I imagine it's gonna be the thing of all time to farm because of how much XP you get there. So if you assume something like 25% drop rate, you run speed jars in a group, on average you will get one of these Petrified Screams. So on average you're actually gonna spend more time in those Echoing Nightmares compared to running GRs in a form and group if you share those keys all the time, because you only need one key for the entire group to enter, which hasn't been changed at all. So I expect this is going to be a very common thing to do. So get your rotations going, get your Echoing Nightmare it forward groups running, and then you will be farming mad XP in here. What it means for the builds you want to play in there is that you probably can't really reliably do Wave 150 with something like Trag'Oul's Necromancer anymore, or Raymond Monk. So you probably actually want to, play a good build, and it would still be fine. So with the power and the conduit pylons and all this stuff, it was rather easy to go way beyond 150 already. And now with the shield pylon gone, it will be a bit more dangerous, so you might have to play it more defensively and build more defensively, but it's not going to be to the point where it will be super difficult on the top builds like Multishot, Marauder DH, or something like Inner Monk is going to be quite good anyway, or with Light Monk. So every class is going to have some pretty solid builds at the very least, and some of them are really shining, like the DH, and they will have not really a lot of trouble anyway. As always, you'll find all the updated guides on Maxroll, so we've already done a lot of work, and we have prepared pretty much every single build guide as well. So there's a few last things to tweak, and you're gonna have an Echoing Nightmare tier list specifically for this game mode, where you'll see the best builds. So some of this is gonna be a bit like estimated, because right now we don't really know 100% how it's gonna be with these changes. So there might be some adjustments, but you're gonna get at least a very good idea of what you should play. And this also concludes the video for now already. Let me know what you think about the patch notes, what you're gonna play. For me, it's gonna be the Barb start. I'm very excited to try the Raker, and a lot of Demon Hunter and some Wizard. Hope you enjoyed this little update. Stay tuned and subscribe for more Season 26 guides, and I'll see you guys next time.